And good morning. I want to thank you on this week's podcast hosted by John Gormally. I'm marketing coordinator for Coeus Consulting based in Phoenix, Arizona. We're a managed security service provider and a very proud partner of Cisco Systems. So good morning. We are welcomed today by Chris Balestrieri, if hopefully I pronounced that correctly.
Balestrieri, close enough. Long Italian last name.
I love it. Chris, thanks very much for making today, everyone. Chris is a executive account manager for the security managed service space within Cisco Systems, and he's our partner representative, so we're duly happy to be working with him on this wonderful podcast series today. So, Chris, again, thank you again for making time for being on today's show.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me. I got to visit you guys about a month ago out there in Arizona. I'm based in the Bay Area here, and happy to be with you.
Well, wonderful. Well, thank you again, sir, for being here as well. Now, one of the reasons that we are putting this podcast together today, we will be on site tomorrow. Chris is actually en route tomorrow morning into the Scottsdale, Arizona area. We're hoping a lunch and learn event at Ruth Chris at 11:30, and it is already filled up to capacity of 30 people. So we're extremely excited. But traditionally, what we've also done here at Coeus is we've actually done a podcast promoting the event along with promoting the content that we'll be sharing tomorrow. This podcast that you're watching today live will be restreamed again this Wednesday at 10 a.m. Mountain Time for other people that may not have a chance to catch it as well. So what really made us come to this place? And really the topic, as you saw from the introduction video, is it really talks about is how do you protect your people wherever work is, right? Are they at home? Are they on the road? Are they inside a corporate facility? Are they a contractor? Are they visiting a customer site in the middle of an airport that's currently under attack right now? And I won't say which country it is, but it's pretty close to Arizona, maybe south of it. So if you're in places like that, how do you ensure that you're protecting your employees' information and data and credentials? So that would really is what prompted the Coeus Consulting and Cisco Systems coming together for tomorrow's basically lunch and learn, is to look at different ways of how authentication has changed, along with protecting what we call the borderless network environment. The other element that we're also very consciously discussing tomorrow is going to be understanding more about AI visibility. So Chris will be kind of highlighting that a little bit in his slide deck as well. So without ado, we're going to go and bring up some content. I promise we will not slide deck you to death, but we'll definitely bring up some valuable information hope you can take away with you as well. So let's really kind of focus on putting this in kind of a net space a little bit. The main part of the audience tomorrow that'll be at the lunch and learn is really going to be SMB business owners in the Scottsdale, Phoenix area. And constantly SMBs are continuously coming to managed providers like ourselves and saying, look, do I really need to spend money on security this year? Do I really need to up my game on cyber? And we could give them statistics until we're blue in the face. Chris can give them statistics until he's green in the face. And between the two of us, we've given them more statistics than they want to process. But the net of it is that the N-able team observed recently a surge in attacks, approximately 48,000 just in June of 2024 to over 13 million by June of 25. That's a 273% increase in attacks on SMB by cyber criminals. That's unbelievable phenomenon. And part of that is powered by AI, by the way. So with the introduction of AI threat, now it makes the threat vectors even more automated, even more elusive, and even more difficult to protect. As an example, Typhoon, which many people know, is a very interesting attack vector. This is specifically designed to go after people's credentials in Microsoft 365 and Google Workspace. Why is that important? Because pretty much 90% of the walking population has either a Gmail account, Workspace account, or an Office 365 account. So if you jack somebody's credentials, you have a high degree of certainty that you're either going to get away with money, information, or stealing more data as well. So this is why we put a very special emphasis today on credentials and next-generation credential protections. This is the agenda that we'll be following tomorrow that I'll be speaking initially, doing a little bit of a demo on our seamless authentication by Cisco. And then Chris will be getting into Invisible Shield presented by Cisco Systems. And I'll be finishing up tomorrow with the managed services on Borderless Network. For today's podcast, this is pretty much the context that we'll be following throughout the show today. Now, let's talk a little bit about current authentication tools. Now, often enough, when people come to podcasts, they always ask, and they come to webinars, they come to our lunch and learns, they go to Write a Boom up in Las Vegas, and they always ask the big question: look, I'm using Password Manager. It works. I'm using multi-factor authentication. I use Microsoft Authenticator. I've got dual free. It works, and no doubt about it, it does work. Now, the issue that many people tend to forget is that they may have set up Password Manager 6 months ago, or they may have set up the authenticator 3 months ago, or they may have set up Cisco Dual when they first, decided to use it. But is it still working as expected? Are you still maintaining the configurations? Are you still patching? Are you still making sure that any changes that have come out in these particular products have been implemented correctly? Often at times when people have done initial implementations within 2 to 3 months, if they've not kept up on them, those create security vulnerability holes that attackers will attack. And that's really why understanding why the advancements of authentication have become now a lot more dynamic. It's become a lot more continuously monitoring your authentication status, not just at the beginning of your initial connection as well. So future-proofing your enterprise advanced security is really about auditing your current environment and looking at your operational inefficiencies and hidden risk. That's kind of the whole gist of what we're talking about today. AI-driven authentication for real-time is an example of something that does not exist in legacy password managers and other forms of tools. This is why, again, the point of having our conversation today is what's really driving that. Let's talk about the shift for a moment, right? Free tools give you basic locking capabilities, no doubt, and they work. And in most cases, they may be the only thing you need. However, when you start getting into, am I doing enough? I just applied for cybersecurity insurance, and I had to fill out a questionnaire. And am I using AI authentication? Am I using AI, self-defense tools? Am I using the ability to reduce my risk without increasing my operational incapacities, right? These are things that come up all the time. So when you look at this stat that came out from the National Cybersecurity Alliance, 60% of small businesses that suffer a cyber attack go out of business within 6 months. So just think about the fact that if you have an outage, and that outage causes you where you can no longer build products, you can no longer do services, you can no longer sell products and services to your customer base because your systems are down, how long before you'll end up having to close your doors? That's the real fundamental question of understanding the difference between free and premium, right? Now, when you're taking a look at some of the compelling events behind looking at free versus premium for a moment, number one is doing a risk analysis. All right, is your employees tired of using the current MFA? Are they frustrated continuously with, oh crap, I forgot my PIN code, or crap, I forgot this, or I didn't do this, right? Operational efficiencies. Are you opening up a lot of help tickets with your managed providers like us? Or would you want to reduce these help tickets? Does your IT team spend 60% of the time resetting passwords? Or if the self-help portal isn't working the way it's expected to help your users? And most important of all, scalability, right? Do you have the means to scale up? If you added 10 more employees or 20 more employees, is your current capability giving you the flexibility to scale up your authentication strategies, right? So the changing world really, and there's a lot of buzz about this, and that's why we wanted to make sure that we had a big focus today, and our partnership with Cisco is the rise of passwordless defaults, right? The ability to say we no longer want passwords anymore. We now want to use capabilities that make it easier for us to be able to credentialize ourselves into our applications and devices without the users having to remember every single password, right? This is where you get into what they call lifeless biometrics. Like it's basically using things like your eyes, your hand, your face, things like that, that basically authenticate for you versus having to think about the last 12 versions of a password that password manager may not have kept accurate over time. But the most important thing that we want you to pick up from today more than anything else is security is no longer a one-time event, right? The ability to continuously monitor your authentication through AI agents, the ability to know is somebody else logging in an hour after you did, is somebody in a different location using your same credentials. It's kind of like what geofencing originally tried to do, right? And the most important of all, what's the device health? Is this device unpatched, or has it become vulnerable because somehow AV got shut off, right? All these things come into matter that you successfully put in your password, congratulations, but you just authenticated to an unsecured device. So all of this has to be taken into account when you're trying to reduce your threat vector on your threat landscape. So I've asked Chris to come in. Chris is our partner manager, and we want him to kind of really shed light on where is Cisco going in relation to the Invisible Shield, and how is this incredibly relevant to the SAP market. So Chris, go ahead and take it over, please.
Yeah, I appreciate that, John, and thank you guys very much for having me today. And I'm excited to kick off the Invisible Shield. It's presented by Coeus Consulting, powered by us, Cisco. But really, before I get started, I did want to take a second just to share how great it's been to get to know you, Linus, Ash, and the entire Coeus team.
Thank you.
Really, I work with thousands of MSPs, and I can't tell you how customer-centric, dedicated, knowledgeable. You guys are one of the most knowledgeable groups I've ever worked with, and I could tell you guys really, truly put your clients first from everything I've witnessed and go above and beyond. So just wanted to thank you for having me today, and I do appreciate our partnership.
We do as well. Thank you.
Yeah. As we get into the content today, it's really important to understand today's environment. Work happens everywhere. Networks don't have borders anymore. The security challenges that businesses today face are more complex than ever. And that's why partnering with an MSP like Coeus is so valuable. With Coeus, you get great hands-on expertise, tailored support, and ensuring solutions like Cisco's work seamlessly for your customers' unique needs. So together, we are here to help you build that invisible shield that protects businesses and empowers teams wherever they work. So really my goal today is to show how intelligent borderless protection keeps organizations secure and productive, no matter where employees are located. So the next slide here, we'll kind of get into the presentation. And really, I'd like to start by looking at businesses' new reality. The slide before that, John, sorry about that. So over half of today's workforce is remote. And it's interesting to me that 85% of users are bypassing VPNs. The way that people work has really changed dramatically. And with this shift, security threats are evolving fast. SMBs, or small and medium-sized businesses, face challenges as cloud applications explode, and shadow IT, otherwise known as like unapproved applications and devices, become commonplace. And really, Cisco's approach is to secure every user, every device, every location, all under a unified strategy. And we're here to make seamless, intelligent security a reality for every business, regardless of size. So now we'll go into the challenge here. It's first important to understand that old ways where we relied on perimeter security, it just doesn't work anymore. There used to be the old castle and moat model, where you build a world for everyone that was inside the network, and that world's gone. Second, credential compromise is a huge threat. In fact, 80% of data breaches involve stolen credentials, and phishing's a top attack vector today. The third thing to realize is that the attack surface is expanding daily. Shadow IT that I mentioned earlier and unmanaged devices, they often multiply and create blind spots that the attackers exploit. So the question really becomes, how can SMBs realistically secure a network that doesn't have borders anymore? And that brings us to the next slide here. And the answer to that begins with zero trust. And Cisco Duo is at the heart of this approach. Zero trust means that we never assume trust. We continuously verify both user identity and device health before granting access to a network. Duo's modern authentication supports the most secure MFA methods, such as passkeys, security keys, and of course our Duo Push, which ensure frictionless but strong protection. And with a flexible policy engine, we can adapt controls and step up authentication when risk is detected. And we enforce least privilege access and multi-factor authentication everywhere, which dramatically reduces the attack surface for bad actors. On the next slide here, authentication isn't alone enough for security. Bad actors target points of connection, and that's where Cisco Umbrella comes in. Umbrella provides DNS layer security, blocking threats such as malware, ransomware, phishing, before a connection is even made to your network. And it gives you comprehensive visibility into internet activity across users and devices, both on and off your network. The best thing about it, John, it's all cloud delivered with integrated features like firewall type policies, secure web gateway, CASB functionality, data loss prevention, and all of it is with no added complexity or latency. So really, Cisco Umbrella protects users and devices wherever they are in the most efficient way possible.
So this is really, really important, because when you talk about eliminating, going back a slide or two, one of the things you harped on, which I thought was really good, was this slide right here, was understanding that phishing attacks remain the #1 attack vector, right? So with Cisco's kind of borderless networking security strategy, having the ability to now have Umbrella at the front end, protecting against credential theft and other forms of things that are attacking the credential system, you're helping reducing that overall attack vector capability by the hackers.
Absolutely. Very well said, John.
Excellent.
All right. So going to the next slide here, the real power of this message, this presentation is really bringing everything together. So Duo and Umbrella, they integrate seamlessly, delivering continuous trust verification while blocking threats in real time. I have enterprise customers like the NFL, Hyatt Hotels, most of the Fortune 500 that have all seen dramatic improvements in global protection and simplified security management by implementing these solutions together. According to Cisco's Security Outcomes Report, organizations with a mature zero trust implementation typically enjoy 30% higher security resilience as well. And this approach is all part of Cisco's Secure Access Service Edge, otherwise known as SASE, another key term right now in our landscape. But what it is it really converges networking and security in the cloud for seamless, scalable protection. Everything, and going to the next slide here, everything I've discussed isn't just for huge multinational corporations. These solutions are making a real difference for small and medium-sized businesses around the world. And let's talk about the results. SMBs like Heinz Group that I have here on the slide, which is a small water bottle manufacturer in New Zealand, they found the Duo and Umbrella to be simple and easy to use, but show significant security impact. Duo has helped them meet cyber insurance compliance needs by securing user identities, meeting MFA requirements, which is all critical for today's insurance requirements. Umbrella, on the other hand, ensures safe internet access anywhere, anytime, on any device, giving teams true flexibility without sacrificing security. And really, one of the best parts of all of this, John, is that deployment is fast and easy. Working with an MSP like you guys, like Coeus, you can have enterprise-level protection up and running in minutes, and it scales effortlessly as your business grows. So whether you're a global brand or growing a local business, these solutions are really designed to work for you. Going to the next slide, it's important to understand that security shouldn't come at the expense of user experience. With Duo Single Sign-On, users get unified access to all their cloud applications, and there's no more password fatigue. Earlier you were talking about passwordless, and I was talking to a colleague of mine the other day, and we were talking about how to put passwordless into like regular terms. And passwordless is really what lets you log on without having to remember a password, obviously, But instead, you use something like your fingerprint, your
Mhm.
face, your
Your hand,
phone,
the hand.
your
Yep.
hand. Yep,
Yep.
exactly.
Mhm.
Or a special security key just to prove it's really you.
Mhm.
And it's much easier, it's much safer because there's no password for hackers to steal or guess. It's just
Mhm.
a quick, easy, secure way
Mhm.
into your applications or your network. Um, and then on the other hand, here we also have Cisco Umbrella that we've been talking about, and that's just a cloud native platform that's fast, reliable, and has minimal disruption and no latency for users. It has intelligent, adaptive policies that adjust automatically based on user, device, and network risk. So, really great things that we're doing here at Cisco. But you may be asking, what's next? And we'll go to the next slide here.
Mhm.
Here at Cisco, we're constantly evolving to meet new challenges. Duo's risk detection and adaptive authentication are growing even more sophisticated,
Mhm.
while Umbrella is adding new secure access features like SaaS API DLP, data loss prevention, and advanced cloud malware scanning.
Mhm.
And together, Duo and Umbrella form that invisible shield that empowers secure, flexible work anywhere that we've been talking about.
Mhm.
And you touched on this earlier, but also looking forward, Umbrella is evolving itself too into something called Cisco Secure Access.
Mhm.
And what Secure Access is, it's a new platform which will be available to MSPs like Coeus within the next quarter or two.
Mhm.
But what Secure Access is designed, designed to make things even easier and more effective. We're streamlining user management, AI-powered tools, strengthening cloud protection that you get faster threat detection and a clearer view of your organization's overall security.
Mhm.
And at the end of the day, Secure Access is going to help MSPs deliver even better results and support, no matter how your needs change as your business continues to develop.
Excellent.
And going to the last slide here, and to kind of wrap everything up that I've talked about today, Cisco Duo and Umbrella, they deliver comprehensive integrated protection for every user, device, and location by adapting a modern borderless security architecture. And again, I want to emphasize it's not just for large enterprises. It's accessible and it's practical for SMBs too.
Mhm.
Partnering with Coeus and Cisco, what does it mean? It means you get the expertise and solutions needed to build and manage a resilient, future-ready security posture without compromise and the flexibility to work anywhere. Really appreciate the time to speak today, John. I hope you and the audience here has seen how Cisco and Coeus are helping SMBs
Mhm.
to secure their network in a borderless world
Mhm.
with solutions that are powerful, simple, and scalable.
Wonderful. Chris, thank you very much for your piece. That was wonderfully done. So I want to transition now into understanding kind of what Coeus Consulting's realm is of in this arena is about managed services. That's what a lot of times our customers engage us because they know they need additional security capabilities. They need additional firewalling. They want more visibility to AI. They want to be able to do passwordless deployment capabilities. But at the same time, they're also very stretched on resources. So our managed services capabilities come in and provide really three very strong pillars to the SMB market. Seamless deployment of Cisco integration solutions is one of the biggest things that we focus on. Number two, AI oversight. As Chris mentioned, with Secure Access coming out in the next few months, we will be able to bring more visibility to what people type in ChatGPT and Gemini and some of the other ones as well. And most importantly of all, continuous protection. It's not about logging in the morning and think you're good for the day. It's continuously making sure that the authentication and the devices and everything is being monitored to ensure that you don't become compromised throughout the day as well. This is also something that we do as part of our managed security service offering. Now, when we talk about seamless deployment, one of the things that we really are focused on in the passwordless strategy It's really about credential elimination, the ability to remove passwords, which also stops phishing attacks, right? So if you eliminate the passwords, it really takes a big bite out of how cyber criminals try to compromise your accounts. Instead of trying to stay down the path of, well, we're just going to use passwords for a while and they just got to work it through it. That's what majority of credential theft is, jacking passwords. Eliminate the passwords, you eliminate a major attack vector coming in your environment. The other most important thing about understanding deploying passwordless strategies, it's really about making sure that your users have less friction to get into applications. When they're traveling, it's less friction to get on the corporate network. When they're in a third world country or they're within like a third world coffee shop, things like that. Absolutely, you want to make it very, very simple for them to get in securely and maintain their security status throughout the time that they're logged in the environment. Now, the other part that's really important is about enhanced security. Security is constantly changing. We were not having this conversation about passwordless deployments 2 years ago, right? But it came about because people were making mistakes. They were calling in the help desk, or somebody was impersonating somebody calling in the help desk saying, hey, you know what? I'm locked out. I can't get to the portal. Can you help me out? And many times that social engineering resulted in a hacker getting access to people's credentials. So security is constantly changing, but more importantly, having a platform like Dual and Umbrella working together, providing not only the scale of today, but also addressing obviously future threats as well, right? Now, one of the things that Chris talked on was secure access, access agent or secure access client. What's the new platform going to be called?
Secure access. There's going to be a couple different flavors of it, but yeah, secure access.
Okay, secure access. So one of the reasons that we are extremely excited about this platform is that when someone, let's say an example, an organization says, oh, we've adopted ChatGPT and we're marketing's using it, finance is using it, our salespeople are using it, products using it, the whole company went AI, everyone went ballistic, and it's a lot of fun. However, we have no idea what people are typing. We have no clue if they're uploading customer lists and trying to ask ChatGPT to do an analysis of customer lists. So we don't have that visibility. This is what we're looking forward to when Cisco Secure Access comes out. It's increasing the visibility within the prompts, what people are typing, what are they, what answers are they getting back? Did they just tell the world our sales strategy for the next 6 months? All that stuff we currently don't have visibility to. So we're extremely excited that when this becomes available to us, we're planning on wanting to launch this to customers that are interested in this level of visibility as well. And by the way, you can rest assured the cybersecurity insurance industry is paying attention to how you plan on addressing AI consumption in your environment. So this is definitely something that we're very, very high on as well. But ultimately, what we're really focusing on is really taking Cisco solutions managed by Coeus Consulting, right? Cisco makes world-class security products and technologies. We provide world-class managed services, right? We're there to provide continuous compliance monitoring for HIPAA, PCI, and other compliance regs. We provide a 24/7 SOC services for our customers to help manage your security environment, to maintain that you're secure 24 hours a day. And as AI becomes more and more important to your business, we are also here to provide that visibility of the AI consumption and operational efficiencies. Are you using the AI tools properly? Do you plan on using Copilot versus ChatGPT? And how do you delineate the workflows and things like that? Those are conversations we absolutely enjoy having with our customers today as well. So ultimately, as a call to action, number one is at the end of the day, it's really about maximizing security, AI oversight, and password deployments managed by us. That's our role in this strategy. We partner with Cisco because they build incredible technologies and solutions. They're a world-class leader in what they do. We're a world-class leader in providing managed services. So we're very excited to partner with us today. I want to thank you all very much for making it on today's podcast. Chris, thank you very much. I'll see you live tomorrow on site in Scottsdale, Arizona. For those that had a chance to enjoy this podcast, please drop us a note at our website at coe.us. We'd love to hear from you if you have any additional questions about the content that we created today. So I want to thank you again for making time for being on this podcast, and we look forward to having you on future broadcasts as well. Take care.